Hey guys, good morning. I'm just coming in from Walmart now. You know the way they celebrate paying off some huge debt. Like if you're in a country where school fees is quite expensive and you have to use student loan to go to school. You know that feeling people have when after school they start working and they pay off their debt student loan. Or in a country where houses are very expensive to range up to, if you convert it, let me say you bought a house for $700,000, 800,000, and definitely you have to use a mortgage, except you came from some huge acquired wealth or something. Let me say you're buying a house at 30 years. I mean, nobody expects you to have that $700,000, $800,000 cash to buy. And probably one time you finish paying the debt. You know the way you celebrate. People should celebrate and say, I am drama free. I am drama free. For some time now, backstory, when everybody have their own family history, some people have like medical history, some people have some cancer, different kinds of illnesses that when you do insurance, they ask you, those questions they ask you. What did your father die from? At what age did they die? What did your mother die from? At what age? Just those family history. Luckily for me, I don't have those big name illnesses in my family bloodline, both father's side and mother's side. Not that illnesses cannot develop anywhere, but you know how medical doctors, how the medics rate those things. But what we have, two things that we have is high blood pressure and eye disease. You can see I'm using glasses. It's prescription. It's not like what we say in Nigeria. It's not recommended, it's recommended. So I noticed that a lot of people by the time they get to 60 years, they develop some kind of high blood pressure and all that. So, and a lot of people, majority of people too in my family, when they get to a certain age, they start using glasses. Okay, so that being said, that at some point, I noticed that when I was growing up, my father had a family doctor that whenever they check me, my blood pressure would be between 118, 119. It never even gets to 120. So the doctor one day teased me and said, "You will live long." I was like, "Oh, well, I don't have anything bothering me. Like, I don't even carry anything to heart. If you give me stress, I pour it out that and I move on." But along the line, this was my growing up, then university days when I started working. I started working on time. By God's grace, with all the strike that was going on, I still finished university before 25, right? How much as I studied a professional course that took 5 years, right? So with all the strike and everything, you find yourself spending like 7 years in the university, but still I finished before 25. So when I started working I was still maintaining a very healthy blood pressure. But along the line, some years into working, and I got into some kind of situationship, I found out that my blood pressure started getting to 130. I was asking, like, is it normal? Because my normal was 118, 119. The doctors at that time would tell me, oh, it's normal. It's normal. That 130 is normal. Then I noticed that there was some kind of drama that was always coming. I didn't know where it was coming from until I found out that a lot of a bucket full of people just designed drama around me. I didn't even know what was going on, and it took me time to even investigate and find out what was going on. I say, okay. So, and I was also able to luckily find resources that helped me to deal with those kind of drama. So today I've come to announce that I'm drama free, and I know that how to make sure that I regulate. I don't want to get into any blood pressure troubles and whatever associated illness that goes with it, right? So I knew I had to deal with both spiritually and physically, right? I got in contact with some seasoned men of God that speak with the realities of today's world, right? And with the Bible too. And I also began to study the Word of God myself and knew what was right for me, right? I knew what God wanted for me. He said the thoughts he has for me is of good and not of evil, and to give me an expected end. So I knew I needed to make decisions based on my situation and what was best for me and my health. So now what I can tell you, anywhere drama wants, I'm drama free, 100% drama free. There is no relationship I am in that I know that is not genuine or is going to cause me drama. I can tell you that over 90% of every relationship I'm in is genuine. Like, what we tell ourselves is what is real, right? So I'm just coming for Walmart now. Now, my blood pressure it never gets to 130. I don't know if I can say this. It never gets above 130. So what I was saying is, when all those situationship was just going, just a lot of baskets full of people, like a lot of people that are close to me, causing drama behind me, telling all sorts of lies, trying to rope me into something I don't know, telling a lot of lies against me and all that, trying to just smear me and all that, those kind of things. I'm free from all those rubbish, all those BS. In fact, anyone that wants to bring any drama to me now, even if we're in a WhatsApp group or whatever, I just run away from it. Not out of fear, but out of protecting my space, emotional balance. That I never get to 130. My blood pressure has gone back to like when I was in my early 20s. My blood pressure is now 120. It never gets to 130. Or probably maybe I climb stairs. I'm just going to test. Maybe it can get to 130. But it never gets past 130. Never. Normal, right? So drama, when you remove yourself from any kind of drama and don't ever stay in a place, stay with anyone, stay with people that don't want your good, people that say another thing in your presence and behind you say another thing. Look, it's not normal. I was talking with somebody the other day. The person was saying, Onye de manners, who is good behind. That is not real. For me, for once, I can never tell you something different in your presence and say another thing behind you. What I say in your presence is what I say behind you, right? So that is the same thing I expect from whoever I'm having any kind of relationship with, friend, spouse, sibling, church member, acquaintance, whoever it is, employer, employee, whoever you are. I don't expect you to just pretend in my presence, then behind me you are doing another thing. And you find out that sometimes people that call themselves born again do that. Why would you do that? You have some self-esteem issues. If you can't say to the person's face, this is how I feel about you. This is how I feel. You are. If you are an asshole. If I feel you're an asshole, you're an asshole. I mean, tell the person. Then you smile. So you are invested in that kind of relationship, but the person is not invested. The person is just trying to deceive you. You don't need all that kind of messy relationship. No matter the kind of relation, no matter what you call it, you don't need it for your own health. Whatever. Even if your health is so perfect, you need to maintain it. You need to have emotional stability. You need to have emotional balance. So that's why I'm come here to celebrate and tell you guys that I'm drama free and my blood pressure is perfect. You do the same. See you in my next video. Bye.